Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. It's been a minute since I did any Elite Dangerous videos, and I thought what would be useful would be to do a video that showed you how to make money at a pretty hefty pace. Now this is the technique I used to make enough money to buy my Python, as you can see there. And I'm going to show you how I did it. Now I did it over about 3 or 4 play sessions using this technique, and I made about 40 million in about 3 or 4 play sessions. Each session lasted about 2 hours long, maybe a little bit longer, some of them. So it can be done fairly swiftly, and I'm going to show you how. So what you're going to need here, I'm going to show you in the outfitting. You're going to need a fairly decent ship that's got enough space to be able to have some cargo space and passenger cabins, the best ones you can afford and fit in your ship depending on what size ship you've got. Okay, if you don't have those, aim to get them. Good ships are things like your keelbacks. I'll be honest, I used the Type 7 transporter to make mine really fast because they had a huge space in there, but you could do it with a Type 6, a keelback, even an Aspect Explorer to some degree. And then you go and start finding passengers. You can see there the type of passengers you're going to want to pick up are these, like the tourists or the refugees. Any of these seeking adventure, you really want to try and avoid. It looks great inviting money, but look at the distances you have to travel to get that money, that 2.6 million. That will take you a good long time. You can make 2.6 million in about half an hour, 40 minutes using this technique that I'm going to show you. So you want really the transporting refugees, the transporting charity workers, or refugees, or transporting just one individual. So this one there, it's not very far away either. Those are the ones you want to look for, the ones that aren't too far away. And ideally, if you can, and it does happen more regularly than you'll imagine, if you could take a couple of people or a couple of passengers to the same place. So that's me just double checking. Looking that there's a couple of opportunities here to take them there to the Pongo system. Accept that. And there's another one going to exactly the same place in the Pongo system. Exactly the same place. So it's one trip, and I'm going to make about 650,000 for just one trip. And because it's so close, this one you want to avoid. These sort. Time sensitive and secretive isn't very good. Time sensitive, you have to do them pretty much straight away, and secretive basically means if they get scanned and they get scanned too many times, you'll fail the mission. And it happens a lot because you get scanned a lot, and I think it's the third scan they basically say, right, I want out. So avoid the secretive ones. And avoid criminals as well, because if you get scanned by the police and stuff, they'll just basically blow you up. And then you go and have a look at your mission board. Now the only reason you really need cargo space is if there's any cargo to go where you're going, and we're going to the Pongo system. So it's just checking, is there any cargo worth taking to the Pongo system? Because you won't make as much carrying cargo as you will passengers, and there wasn't. There's nobody going to the Pongo system. So it's delivering these kind of stuff, delivering the cargo and things is it doesn't pay enough if it's not going to the same system. It pays far more to carry passengers. So that one's 450,000. It's basically 2 jumps away. So to do 2 jumps, land, they're both going to the same destination. We're going to make about 600,000 plus. Sometimes you can earn far more than that, but this is a good start. I'm also going to show you another technique on how you can make money once you get to the system you're going to. Right, so another way to make a bit of extra money, when you arrive in the system you're going to, the Pongo system we've arrived at now, if you've got a ship like mine, like a Python, or a well kitted out Asp Explorer, it needs to be something like that. Go to the nav beacon and do a little bit of bounty hunting. You can make anything from, I don't know, 50,000 right up to 3, 4, 500,000 just for 5-10 minutes bounty hunting at a nav beacon. But you need to be sure that your ship can handle it, because you don't want to lose the money and the passengers if you get blown up. Now obviously mine can handle it because it's a Python, it's very powerful. And usually the enemies that you find at a nav beacon aren't as intense in some enemies that you will find at the resource extraction sites or the high conflict zones, etc. So generally speaking you will be okay here, but just be careful if you're in a less powerful ship than mine. So you can basically farm here for as long as you want, and as long as you've got strong enough shields and weapons, you can make a decent amount of money just bounty hunting. And then when you get fed up, you just lock on to where you're going in this system, and then away you go. That's the first one down. Now to be fair, I'm not getting the impression that I'm gonna get a lot of cash here. This guy's quite a talented pilot as well. I've been using this technique for a while now. I have to say, when I used my Type 7 transporter to make the money, I obviously didn't do the bounty hunting part, because that ship is useless when it comes to attacking other ships. I just basically did the passenger missions. But because I can do the bounty hunting in this ship, my thought pattern is, why not? But please, please, I repeat, be careful. This has to be the right ship to do this. Can't do it in a poorly kitted out keelback or an Asp Explorer if they're poorly kitted out. Make sure they're powerful enough to do this if you're going to do it. Otherwise you're going to be paying, it's going to be 1 step forward and 2 steps back, because you're going to be paying more in insurance than you are on actually what the money you're going to be making on your passengers. Right, so let's head to where we're going. There we are. So, we didn't stay here long to do the bounty hunting, just for a little while, just to show you. And you don't have to do that, obviously. It's just it is a good way to make a little bit extra cash. Right, so we've arrived here. Drop off these passengers, get the money, and then essentially it's rinse and repeat. Some places you go, you will get, and it will depend on, and this is important, what level you are at with the certain factions. If you're friendly with them, which I think is above cordial, better money missions become available in regards to the transport and the people that you can transport. So it is important, if you're starting right from scratch at the bottom, you won't get paid just as much for the passengers, but the more you do the missions, the more your relationship will improve with the factions, and then the more money you will get for the missions, for especially the passenger ones. And occasionally, and this has happened to me more than once, I've had missions where I've been transporting businessmen, things like that, like 10 businessmen, and it's the reward has been like 1.5 million. Very similar to what we've done here, very short distances, and you can literally make between 2 and 5 million within half an hour to an hour, and I've done it many times. It does sometimes depend on what passengers are available or what missions are available in the station that you're going to. So, to get rid of the bounty hunting, like I say, it wasn't much, but you can make considerably more bounty hunting, just as a little bit of extra. Passenger lounge. So we've got two lots of passengers to drop off. We've got these guys, which has just earned us 450,000 plus the 80,000 that we just got for the bounty hunting. And 200 and what's that? About 220,000. Call that 300 with the bounty hunting. 450. 750,000 for one trip. Always refuel, always restock. Always remember to repair your hull. So the keelback would be half decent for this, maybe not the bounty hunting part. Type 6 transporter again, but not the bounty hunting part. Anything with decent space is what you need, and you may find it difficult to find passenger lounges because not every station sells them, so that can be a little bit frustrating because it can take you a while to find the passenger lounges. So let's have a look what else we've got. This one looks interesting. Not far away. Good money. Politicians. It's easy money this because there is just no problems delivering them. So that's 650,000. See what else is about. Looks very interesting. Time sensitive. Now that's okay. It just means that you need to do that one first, because you don't want to keep them waiting. And always be aware at the bottom how much time you've got left to deliver passengers, because you don't always get much. So if a passenger is time sensitive, that is okay. You just do them ones first. Just check in, see if there's anything else worth doing there. Okay. Time sensitive. Get that one done first. And they're both about 650,000, something like. So we're going to get about 1.2 million just for delivering these two sets of passengers. And look, 2 jumps again, is it? Yeah. 2 jumps, 650,000. And then it'll be a similar amount again, 1 or 2 jumps, another 650,000, whatever it is. It's just easy money. So let's go. Essentially, it is just rinse and repeat. Find the best passengers, the easiest passengers. When you get to the system you're at, get yourself to the nav beacon. If your ship can handle it, do a little bit of bounty hunting. For a ship like a Python, obviously this is easy money, bounty hunting. Generally, certainly at nav beacons anyway. It's not always the same. I don't often take my Python into high conflict zones.
Go for approach to pad 26. You are go for automated docking. Enjoy the ride, Commander.
So that easy. Did a bit of bounty hunting. I didn't stop there long, to be honest. There wasn't much happening at that nav beacon. Sometimes you can do really well at a nav beacon. Sometimes it's not very good at all. So I decided to head just to the space station to pick up my 650,000.
Warning, Commander. Speed restrictions are in place at this facility.
I really do like these camera angles. I like to look at the ship externally quite a lot when I'm docking at a station. Obviously with a docking computer. I'm not that good.
Steady traffic in this area, Commander. Be vigilant.
I do highly recommend the Python, by the way. Fabulous ship. I don't think anybody's put a dent in it yet. Anybody that I've had battles with in space.
Solid contact. Securing ship.
Right.
All checked in, Commander. Enjoy your visit.
So we're going to go to Starport Services. Get rid of the bounty hunter. Like I say, I didn't stop there long this time, so I only got a little bit of money. Drop off my passenger. Easy as pie. Get all that lovely money. Job's a good one. Okay, so remember, when you're looking for passengers, stay clear of criminals and secretive passengers. Criminals and secretive passengers, generally speaking, don't always turn out well in their trips, even though they pay more. Go for the safer options, transporting just one individual. Doesn't matter if they're highly demanding, they'll just ask for things, just ignore them. Doesn't matter, it doesn't change the money you get at the end. Or transporting, you know, refugees or business people, tourists, that kind of thing. Politicians, them ones, those are really dead simple. And remember to see if you can transport people to the same systems. It makes the job so much easier, and you'd be surprised how many times you can do it. Just scanning through here looking at these, there's a lot of money to be made at this station. There's a lot of people wanting to go to the same destinations, so it's just a bit of doing a bit of maths, which combinations will get you the most money. But I suspect from this trip alone to the next station or next system, it's close to 1 million I would imagine I'll be making, maybe more. Type 7. That's, if you can afford a Type 7, that's the one to get to make you a lot of money very fast. It really is a very good ship for that. You won't make as much as fast with smaller ships, but you will still make good money. So I hope you found this guide for Elite useful, how to make money fast. If you have, please consider subscribing.